Too bad.
Too bad.
It's all good. Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Talk. It is back. We are back. The show is back. The Talk is back. You might notice that we have a special guest today, and we are so stoked. Before I introduce him to you all, if you don't know me, don't remember me, or whatever. Hi, I'm Emiko, Senior Vice President of Marketing and Business Development for the show, the Home Entertainment Show. And this is The Talk, Season 4. I lost count. We've done so many of them. We are back after a very long hiatus because we have been busy expanding the show, as you all know. Our first show of 2022, that's right, there's more than one, June 10 through 12 at the Long Beach Hilton in sunny Long Beach, California. This coming June, come on down. It's a big show this year. And before I say anything else, I want to thank everybody who supported the show in 2021. We had the great distinction and terrifying responsibility of being the first show to reopen in North America. We technically opened 3 or 4 days before Governor Newsom lifted our restrictions in the state of California. So we were still showing inactive COVID, as it were, and we were the second show to open in the entire world. So thank you to everybody who has been supporting us. As you all know, this is a place for all things audiophile, hi-fi, high-end audio. We are opening up to home theater and some cool tech stuff, which is why the gentleman sitting next to me in your screen is here, which we're going to talk about in a minute. You know my rules, folks. Don't forget them. Do not forget them. No harassment, no sexual harassment, no bullying. There are no stupid questions. If somebody is new to the hobby, we want to welcome them. We want to make them feel good about it. We want to answer their questions. We want to educate, inspire, and encourage. And so does Brian Mitchell, CEO and founder of eCoustics. And I want to say this. I know, Brian, I'm talking a lot right now, but I want to say this.
Keep going.
Because I'm really, really excited. So I know a lot of you have seen, I think Brian and I work a lot. I work with the eCoustics team on a number of things, including their video series. And one of the greatest pleasures that I have is to announce that eCoustics is, I want you to say it about the Headphonium. eCoustics is doing what now?
That's right. Thank you, Emiko, for having me on The Talk for the first time. Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah. So the big announcement is eCoustics is presenting the Headphonium at the show in Long Beach. So headphone companies, if you're out there, we want to see you. We want you to be front and center at the show, and we're here to support you and get your message and your products out there. So thank you, Emiko, for this opportunity. And very, very excited to be here today and to talk about the show, the Headphonium, and anyone else that has questions about that.
Yeah, I mean, this is really, I have to say, this collaboration, partnership, whatever you want to call it, is so exciting for the show, but really exciting for me because, I'm somebody that really enjoys building stuff, right? And I think that in an industry and a community where people are actually building stuff with their hands, this is an opportunity for us to build stuff through relationships, through like-mindedness, through mission and vision work. And coming on board with eCoustics has just been life-changing, eye-opening, and really inclusive. No, I mean it. And it's a very similar experience to when I came on board with the show, because in an industry where I think it's widely known that a lot of folks tend to stand on ceremony, they tend to stand on tradition, they tend to back up incredible quality work with sort of things from the days of yore, which is amazing. There's still a push for that forward-thinking, innovative, social inclusion, and I feel like eCoustics is 100 million, 1,000 billion% leading the way, holding the torch, running at the front of the race, telling everybody, "Come on, let's go!" And you are the torch bearer. And so to have eCoustics present the Headphonium as part of the show is really an honor for us. And so I wanted to ask you, why is, okay, this is going to sound weird. Why is eCoustics so hip? Like, what do you think makes eCoustics so hip? I'm serious. Like, there's a hip factor that you guys have.
I don't know. I would just tell you it's all about the team and the inclusiveness and just the messaging that we want to get out there. Is we want new audiophiles to find us, to learn about the hobby, discover hi-fi, and yeah, we're just looking for new faces, new contributors, just wherever we can find them, whether they're on Instagram or YouTube. We want to work with you. We want to amplify your voice, and we want to make this hobby as big as it can be.
So that's something that's really cool that you touched upon. Where you find your team, and where, I guess sort of where you found me was through social media.
Right.
Which, for anybody that knows me, you know, I live
You're
on
all over
social,
social
so
media.
It's all about social media, and I think that you're right. That is something that gives eCoustics that hip factor, because you guys really do genuinely live on social, in the community, as part of the community, as part of the movement. Whereas I think there are other, you know, very well respected publications of their own agency that use social media,
right,
but they don't live in the space in the same way, right?
Right.
So
I think it's partially bringing in influencers that are already popular, like a couple of our Instagram contributors, I think have almost 30,000 followers each on Instagram.
Sure. Yeah.
And we do collaborations on YouTube with other websites, and we're getting our message out, and we have our new podcast, which you've been on a number of times. And I thank you for that. So
my pleasure. Thank you.
Wherever the medium is, I don't think we can stand by the past and just have one magazine or one website. You need to be talking where people are, and people are on social media. They are on YouTube, and they're listening to podcasts. So we want to be there. And of course, we want them to come to the website and read all the articles that are getting published every day. And I think that's exciting. And another thing that differentiates us is we're publishing something new every day. So
you know, I want to say it. You know, I want to say it.
Okay.
I still want to say it. So can I say it?
Say it. I know you want to say it.
So when I first started the video series with eCoustics, I had asked Brian for a write-up on the history of the publication, because the first introductory video was going to be sort of background and so on and so forth. He put in there this one phrase, and the phrase in and of itself is not particularly humorous, but it's become this running joke among the Acoustics team, because every time Brian says, yeah, we put out something new every day, and I go, did you know that he... I can't even say it with a straight face. Did you know that eCoustics publishes over 80 pieces of original content every month? Because it's true. And that, I think, the consistency and the fervor with which it's done is great. Oh, I want to call out two people. Hello, Scott, and hello, Aaron. I do want to call Aaron out on the air for one reason, that Aaron did some blogs for us, and he would be also an excellent potential contributor for eCoustics.
Okay.
And he said, I would love
I also
to help,
want to give a shout out to Scott. He's contributed 2 articles.
Yes.
Thank you, Scott, for those. And yeah, so they're out there.
There's news about Scott that I want to say, and you know what? I can't say it until next week. So here's the deal. The talk is coming back weekly, probably more than weekly, because we got a lot of announcements about the show. We have some world premieres, we have some show premieres, we have some first time ever showing people, and we have something that's coming to the show that is so special. There's only one of it in the world, and we are going to have it at the Hilton. It's very much in our care, which is very, very nerve-wracking, but extremely exciting. That no one has ever seen before, and it is the first time that this will ever be used or heard or experienced. And so that press release is coming out next week. The ambassadorship press release is coming out next week. But for now, because the Headphonium press release already went out, let's talk about what makes the Headphonium special and what makes it different. Because there are other headphone exhibits that are out there all over the world, and they're fantastic. There's not a single, I don't think I've ever been to a single bad one, to be honest. But we want to take that and honor that, but then do our own thing. So what makes this super cool?
Well, I think we want to start off that headphones is an unbelievably large category. It's like a $27 billion category, or is some of the estimates. And almost everybody has a pair of headphones, earbuds, some way they listen to music. And it's just, there's a lot of very inexpensive products. And then there's some very, very expensive products. And
Yes.
I think where we want to be different is we want to showcase all the variety that's out there. Like
Right.
we don't want to just focus on the very, very highest end. Like,
Right.
of course we want that there so people can experience what's the ultimate in headphone personal audio sound, but we want to start off with, or we want to offer more accessible, fashionable models as well.
Sure.
And we want to show off, because I think headphones are the personal, they're something that you wear, so they have to appeal to you fashion wise.
Right.
And a lot of times that's overlooked in high-end audio, but it shouldn't be probably anymore. So we want to show off people trying off headphones, share their pictures on social media if they want them shared,
Right.
and just talk about their experiences with headphones in a whole new way.
Yeah, I think the idea of what eCoustics is bringing to this in presenting the Headphonium is we're democratizing the headphone world and the personal and portable audio world in this way. We're also creating lifestyle identifiers. Like you're saying, it's the word fashion, right, is typically associated with the female gender. However, there's a lot of dudes out there that, let's face it, we all care about what our systems look like just as much as what they sound like. And so the same is true when you have part of your system on your person, I think, right? And speaking of sharing to social media and stuff, one of the things that we are offering is we're going to have this like 10 minutes of fame thing that we're doing at the Headphonium, where we're going to be doing a photo shoot at the poolside at the Hilton Long Beach, overlooking Long Beach Harbor, with headphone stuff. So if that's something that you want to participate in, there will be ways to do that. So A, you're going to have to buy a ticket to the show. And B, if you're not already on our mailing list, you're going to want to sign up for that. And C, you're going to want to sign up for the Acoustics newsletter at eCoustics.com, because you'll be pushing out those announcements as well, I'm sure. Hint, hint.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
That sounds like a fun fashion shoot for people.
It is. The idea is for it to be like showing. I think the big thing is, like, I find that in hi-fi and especially in high-end audio, like, everything is very posed, but it's posed in a way that is I don't want to say unrealistic, because it may not be unrealistic for some people, but I don't personally walk around in a black satin ball gown at noon, carrying my headphone preamp and DAC here like this. I don't do that. And so I just thought, like, hey, if you've got some cool open back headphones or in-ears or whatever, and you're hanging out at the pool, you're listening to tunes, reading a book, that's a cool photo shoot, because it really sends the message to people. This is how you use it in real life. This is a real person using it. It's a professional shoot, so it looks really nice. Something that you can take home with you, something that the manufacturer can use, the show, eCoustics. Everybody's winning at that point, and everybody's having fun.
Right. And outside some of the shows, it's very hard, especially with COVID, to try on and experience headphones.
Yes.
So that's another thing, that you'll be able to try on tens, hopefully hundreds of different types of headphones while you're there, and experience what fits you, what sounds better. And it's a personal thing, and you can't always tell that from just looking at pictures and in someone in an inexpensive ball gown holding a pair of headphones.
Check this out. Exactly. How many people from, well, I saw the email. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it because I know it was internal for us, but did I read it correctly that a couple of the eCoustics headphones editors are going to be at the show?
Oh, definitely. I think
is Mr. Jennings going to be one of them?
Mr. Jennings said he will be there.
Okay,
We have
great.
Yeah. We have a new contributor, Lynn Miller,
Right.
who also said he'll be there.
Great.
And I expect to be there. Editor in chief, Ian White. I expect him to be there, and you'll be
Are we
there.
calling him out or are we inviting
No,
him?
I think he'll
Ian,
be there.
be there or be square.
I think he'll
I'll be
be there. And we do have a
there.
couple other contributors that do some headphone reviewing and some
Right.
other things. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. But there should be a large number of the acoustic staff there,
Yeah.
helping anyone out that has questions and just being an extra resource.
That was,
At,
that was the big thing, was when I saw that Will Jennings was coming out. He's a tremendous headphone
mhm,
reviewer for acoustics and just
right.
really great guy in general.
Yep.
Um, for me, because normally every year we do the show and we have tremendous press attendance and the press is always wonderful. We love each and every member of the press
Right.
that supports the show and supports audio and supports the industry as a whole.
Right.
But they're very much on a mission, right? Because they have to write
Mhm,
the reviews, complete
right.
coverage, they have to do interviews. They're there for a reason, and we get that. And
Mhm,
so this is the first year I feel like, specifically with acoustics, because we have this relationship with you guys, that people will be able to ask you questions and
exactly.
have conversations and not just, oh, don't bother him because he's writing, right? Which
Right.
which does happen, because
Yeah.
you have to crank out one of the 80 pieces of
Right.
original
Right.
content every
That'll
month
be
that
a
you
very
put
busy
out.
day. That'll be a
Right.
busy day.
So the fact that the acoustics team will be there on hand, not just to review, not just to um, do a commentary on, but to actually participate and converse with you all,
Yep.
is, I think, a really, really wonderful thing.
Yeah, I think it's great to get out there and meet the community, because a lot of times we're behind our desk and behind our
Right.
screens, and it's great to be on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're watching us now. We're grateful that you're there. But yeah, we need to meet people. Like this is a hobby about having fun. We
Yeah.
have to. It's music. It's yeah. We need to just enjoy it and meet people. And I think that's part of building a larger community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the things that you and I had discussed briefly in the planning of all this,
Hmm.
somebody, I can't remember who it was on the team. I won't even try to remember, but somebody said, hey, our sound bar is going to be, not in the Headphonium, but in the general show, like, hey, our
Mm.
sound bar is going to be allowed. And I said, of course they are. This is all
Hmm.
about getting people into the experience. And so I
Right.
know that you've been taking great care with the Headphonium specifically to make sure that we have brands that are, like you said, not just super high end and ultra
Right.
like niche,
Boutique.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
accessible,
Hmm.
solid, really good,
Right.
fun brands that everybody can enjoy no matter where they are
Right.
along their journey, right?
Right. This is a show for the public too. Like,
Right.
we want people to
Yeah.
come out, try things, see things they're not going to see in a Best Buy. And it's probably things they probably didn't even know existed. Like, that's
Right.
the excitement of a show like this. Is
Yeah.
there's an unbelievable amount of headphones and headphone brands out there. Like, we get
Yeah.
news on a different headphone almost daily. And like, I can barely keep track of them all. So seeing them in person and
Yeah.
like holding them, trying them on, it's just a different experience. And I don't think you'll be able to do that at many other shows or any other venues. So it's a
Yeah.
great opportunity for people that, I mean, of course there'll be other audio exhibits there. They don't have to stay in just the headphone area,
Right.
but that's the other exciting part of it, is if you haven't experienced um, higher end 2-channel audio, this is another place to just go a
Right.
couple rooms over,
Yep.
and you can hear some mega sound systems and be wowed by that experience. And so
Absolutely.
that's so part of the proximity to the show, having headphones, as you said, anything that's home entertainment related, sound bars, TVs. Am I allowed to
Oh,
say
yeah, home theater.
TVs can be
We're
there? Home theater.
we're
Okay.
thrilled to say that SBS is coming, and they're bringing a a, s- a music system, but they're also bringing a home theater experience. There's a couple of others I'm not going to say yet because we want to get the release up. But
Right.
Nick over at SBS told me I could say that they're there. Contract's
All
been
right.
signed, so it's
All
official. So
right.
yeah, this year there's going to be a lot of new stuff, and I think I mean, you and I talk fairly, I'd say fairly regularly, but we talk daily basically at this point. And you said something in passing the other day where I said, people, like, somebody had a question, yada, yada, yada. And you said, well, we just have to do it differently. They're
Mhm.
just going to, right? You were sort of like, they're just going to have to get used to the fact that this is different now. Like, it was so
Right.
nonchalant. You were like, why is this even a thing? And you're
Right.
right. I mean, this is the moment that we have to plant I said this on the Acoustics podcast the other night. Plant your flag in the ground and
Right.
claim that as your space, right? And so
Right.
we are moving forward together on this. And
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
yeah, like, and I'll say this: it is a good thing. I'm just gonna pull this box out because I'm not gonna say who it's from. I got a couple of headphones in the mail the other
Mhm.
day, and I have not opened them, partially because I'm going to be filming an unboxing. But the other thing is I haven't tried these yet. I've never tried this particular brand of headphone. And
Right.
on the box is a sticker that says, "Attention recipient, please check the contents of the carton upon receipt. If you sign and accept the package and later discover that the contents are wrong or missing, we are not responsible."
Sounds like they don't want you to return it. Is that
Well, that's good, because if I like them, I'm not returning them. But my point is, like, man, you better be sure, and that's why the
right?
Headphonium we think is going to be so great, because
Right.
nobody wants to get a box with that stick. I mean, that's quite a
Right.
commitment all of a sudden, you know.
Right. Right. Yeah,
So
it's very hard to return headphones. I'm sure there's some retailers out there that have liberal return policies,
right,
but it costs them a lot of money to accept returns, and you
sure,
can't resell new
sure.
headphones that way. So yeah, it's a great chance to just try out headphones and enjoy music in a whole nother way.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
and like one of the things that I'm excited about and I hope is there is I want to see spatial audio demos with both headphones and with regular sound systems. And that's another up and coming trend now that Apple Music has released
Right.
spatial audio. But it's not always easy to figure out if you're getting it. It's
Yeah,
it's like it'll show up in your app, spatial audio play here, but if you don't have the right setup, it's
it
not
doesn't
going to
work.
play in the experience that it's
Yeah.
capable of. So that's, I think people may be up for an ear opening if they can hear some amazing spatial audio music.
So what I have access to, I can't say that this is confirmed, but I can say the offer has been made. Is there
Mm,
is a friend of mine who works. Okay, how can I say this without giving up the ghost? There's a friend of mine that works at a place. For those of you who are watching the talk now, hello, hello, thank you for tuning in. For those of you that were at this thing, you'll know what I'm talking about, and for the rest of you, you'll be scratching your heads for the rest of the day or getting on our website and trying to find it. For those of you that were at the event at the place where my friend works, he is one of the individuals that are in charge of doing Dolby Atmos and spatial audio approvals
mm-hmm.
for music that goes out into the world. And so he has, we've been in touch about him potentially doing either a seminar or panel discussions or something at the show. So there's going to be a lot of really new, I mean, there's going to be some old classic stuff too that everybody loves, and it's going to be
Right.
great to see it. But this year really is going to be a mix of old and new,
Mm-hmm.
and it's amazing how harmonious, haha, pun intended, that's turning out to be. So
Yeah.
spatial audio is definitely something that we will, I can say we are talking about at the
Right.
moment. We're pretty close to confirming it, and I would be hard pressed to believe that we wouldn't be able to confirm it. But
Right.
you
Right.
know,
Yeah. That's
uh,
exciting. Do we want to talk about the talk itself and what we're
yes,
doing right now?
yes, right now this is happening right now. So another thing that's really cool is we're going to be Acoustics and the show. We're doing some other really cool stuff that we're not going to get into now because we'd be here for 3 hours if we did. It's just the list is very long. But because we have the show Long Beach, the show Denver, and the show Nashville, dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
And we have a B2B event in Phoenix, and then we have something else in New Orleans. So we're like all across the country. And we have this new ambassador program, and eCoustics is sort of on board for a lot of different cool things that are rolling out in a timed way.
Right.
Brian Mitchell is going to be co-hosting the talk. So we've got the ambassadors. By the way, that press release is coming out next week. So
Okay.
the ambassadors will be hosting one show a month each. Brian
Oh,
will be
wow.
hosting one show a month as of now, maybe more
Right.
if we have to have more,
Right.
but
Right.
right now once a month. And then I'll be hosting, if I can pull myself away from my computer looking at
Right.
contracts from all the room exhibitors.
Right. And
Sorry,
and
go
I
ahead.
think we want to make clear that the talk is for exhibitors, or is it for exhibitors at the show to get their messaging out there? Or how would you describe who the talk?
Yeah, so the talk is right. For those of you that have followed us from the beginning of this, right? The talk started as a result of COVID and just going, oh, crud, we're not going to be leaving our homes for a while. How are we going to do this? And we thought, well, let's have a talk show. So, right,
Right.
it started that way. But now we're really going to be focusing on, especially leading up to the show,
Mhm.
focusing on exhibitors who want to be in the spotlight. And some of them want to be in the spotlight more than others, and that's totally
Right.
fine. There's no wrong or right. But
Right.
we're going to be booking appearances for them on here.
Right.
And one of us will be hosting at that time. And also the talk is going to be used for things like this: big press announcements,
Right.
partnership announcements, premieres, anything that's noteworthy of the show. So watch this space, turn your notifications on wherever you are, or subscribe, because this is also where you're going to get the news, and you're going to be able to ask questions and interact with us. So
Right.
it's not just, oh, here's an email, here's a social media thing. I mean, it'll all be there, but
Right.
it's really going to be happening here.
So it could kind of get people behind the scenes, behind the brands,
Yeah,
some deeper insights into products that they may tune their trip through the show about what to look for, because they walk
exactly.
some of the talks and they followed some of the people, and will probably recognize people
Right,
once you get to the show. Oh, we saw
right,
you on the talk. So
right.
yeah, there's a lot of advantages to being on the talk. And I think it depends where you're watching it, but we are simulcasting this to both the show's YouTube channel and the eCoustics YouTube channel, as
Right,
well as Facebook, LinkedIn,
right.
Twitter. I
Twitter,
think it's
it's
all going out. So we're broadcasting
everywhere.
this
Yes.
to a wider net than would normally be reached. And I'm thankful for that opportunity and to be part of this amazing home entertainment show, Emiko. Yeah. Thank you for this. This is
Are
like
you
a
kidding?
lot.
We're thrilled. We're thrilled that you
Oh,
guys
thank
came
you.
on board. We were
Oh, yeah.
we were like, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it,
It's,
because of all the content, the 80
yeah, it's an
pieces
amazing
of original content you put
opportunity.
out.
Like, this is somewhat unique. I'm not
Yeah,
aware of other publications partnering in this fashion, or
right,
presenting something in this fashion with
right. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
another show.
I I mean, mm, it may have been done, but years ago,
Hmm.
not quite in this way. And I just want to add the caveat here, just so we're clear. Um, the show and eCoustics working together does not in any way limit eCoustics' ability to review other shows or attend other shows or speak
Right.
highly about. I mean, that is not what this is. And by the same token, we are still going to be advertising with other publications, and there, of
Right.
course,
It
we have a
doesn't
media
limit
list.
other press from also
Right.
showing up. We
That's
want
not
other press to be there. All the other e-zines, magazines, YouTube channels,
right.
Facebook,
Tastemakers,
like
everybody. Right.
anyone, yeah, out there. I want to meet you too. Like, I'm curious to meet you, and we want you there. And
Right.
yeah, please don't feel like just because eCoustics is there that there's something that prevents you from coming. But
Yeah,
absolutely.
the big thing for us, I think, has been like, after 2 years of being in sweatpants sitting at home,
Hmm.
let's face it, that's what we've all been doing.
Right.
um I think you and I had this conversation quite a few times about getting out there and not going back to normal,
Mm-hmm.
but going
Right.
forward to use this as an opportunity to start a new cultural behavior,
Right.
right, for our industry. Because this is a matter of rising tides lift all boats, right?
Right.
Because who knows what happens from here? I mean, if there's some huge, I don't know, YouTube influence channel person's like, hey, I'd like to work with the both of you. It's like, well, there's strength in numbers
Right.
when we're all like-minded and we're all working for the same mission and vision,
Right.
which is spreading an elevated listening experience to as many people as we can. And so I
Exactly.
think part of this is going to be not just educating and encouraging our attendees, but educating and encouraging our exhibitors and our
Mm-hmm.
industry as well, to say that,
Right.
hey, just because it's been done that way forever
Right.
doesn't mean it has to be only that way, or doesn't
Right.
mean that that's it, right? There's other
Right.
things that are out there as well, and they can all work in harmony.
Exactly. Like we're experimenting with new ways to attract more people. Like
Right,
this is all for positivity, to
right,
grow the industry. It's part of the Acoustics mission to grow the hi-fi community. And this is just one aspect of doing that and partnering with the show. And this is an exciting time to be in headphones and high-end audio, or however you want to describe it.
yeah,
But yeah, it's the products are becoming more affordable for commensurate quality.
yes,
And so that's an exciting thing that's happening at the same time. So certainly you can go out and spend a boatload of money. But we're also there to tell people that you don't necessarily have to start there.
right,
If your budget is smaller, and that's okay. Like, we want to welcome you in. We don't want to exclude you and say you can't be part of this group because you don't spend X
right,
dollars. And I think
right.
there's a lot of um, misconceptions, let's say, about the word audiophile and
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature that can be, what's the word I'm looking for? Can intimidate people from joining this hobby. So we want to like get rid of some of the older stereotypes and welcome in new people, make this fun, make it cool, and that's what we're out to do.
Absolutely. And our ambassadors will be on hand as well, working with the Acoustics team
Mm,
for that purpose. So that if anybody has a question about, oh, I'm new and I don't even know where to start, or this is what I'm looking for and I'm not sure, right? We can help, our ambassadors can help either guide you to different rooms, make recommendations, and keeping in mind that any recommendation that's made is not on the basis of an exhibitor paying for it or whatever. It's, we've been to all these rooms, we've seen all these exhibits, we've used all the products, and so
right,
we know. But it's not like, oh, go buy this. It's like, hey, go to that room and check it out, and from there go here, go here, go here, right? Like,
right.
just a little push to get
Hmm.
people on their way, I think, is what's really needed. And I'm trying to think what
Well,
else.
can we? Are you going to talk about the ambassadors at another the
Yeah,
talk?
I'm not
They're
gonna
all going
talk
to be
about it
on, so
today
we can't
because
bring them up now.
because at least one of them has not given me their bio yet.
Okay.
And if they're watching, they know who they are, and I'm not going to say any more than that. That press release is not going out without their bio in it. So
Okay.
there is more than one ambassador, and I can say this, that we're so excited for this year's ambassadorships, and we will be adding more. So if this is something that anybody who's watching this live or is catching the replay is interested in participating in the
Hmm.
ambassadorship, just send a DM over to the show. You'll probably get me or somebody on my team answering you, and we can talk about that. But it's going to be super cool. And somebody had asked or suggested a way to get audio files. We're going to take a poll right here. I wasn't planning this, but Brian, you can help with this. I posted in one of the Facebook groups. I said, what do you think is a great way to get new audio files, new
Mm,
people into audio, right? And
right.
somebody wrote free pizza. And just hear me out,
Okay.
because I know that sounded like just a jab of an idea, right? But what if there was some sort of a first timers ticket, and with that you did get a slice of pizza? How would
Yeah.
people feel about bringing their friends, like bringing people that they'd never
Yep.
experienced this with, right? Because it should be a party. It should be
Right.
fun,
Yep. I like
right?
that idea. I didn't know that was gonna, I didn't know if that's actually happening, but I'm excited for that. And I think we do need to bring new people, give
Yeah.
them pizza, have pizza there. Maybe we'll
Excuse
have
me.
a pizza truck now.
Well, we have food trucks coming up at the front. Every year we have these amazing food trucks. The company that works with it is just fantastic. And last year they had 3 or 4 different trucks that came all 3 days. And I mean, the lines, people walked in there fitting into like a 38 waist. They walked out of there on Sundays at 42. Like it was crazy. The food was amazing. I don't know if I just cost our internal org budget upset from stating pizza at the show, but the Hilton has this amazing like flatbread program that they do for
Right.
lunch, I think. So, pardon me. Pizza very well might be on the cards, everybody. I'm not promising it. This is not like oh, she said it on air, so it's happening. That's not what's happening, but it's something that I think we're probably going to consider
Right.
because I don't know. I just think anything to make it more fun, right?
Mm-hmm. Pizza certainly makes it more fun.
I think
Why
so.
not add beer too? Just keep adding
Although
layers.
I can hear the folks, the speaker manufacturers and the speaker
They're like,
designers just
no
going,
grease,
no
no.
greasy fingers, no greasy fingers, please, God, keep them out of my room. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
No, no, but I do like just the creative thinking of just how do we expand this? How do we invite more people into this tent? And I think you just have
Right.
to try some of this stuff out. And once you try some of this, let's call it elevated sounding items,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times it's hard to go back to what you had before and go, you
Right.
kind of get this little bug in you and you're like, I kind of want what I heard the other time. And how do I
Yeah.
duplicate it?
Yeah.
And that's part of what getting into this hobby is you're constantly trying to duplicate what you heard before and recreate
Right.
it again and again. So yeah, whether it's over headphones or your home stereo system, yeah, it's just a super fun way to try this stuff out. Come out to the show. I want to meet you. Emiko wants to meet you. We want to see you there. And it's a great time to talk to us. And like, hopefully we won't be too busy that we can't talk to everyone that wants to talk to us.
Right.
But that's another part of what these shows are all about.
Yeah. And I would just say that like right now we are sold through to the 5th floor. We already have
oh, wow.
exhibitors on the 5th floor. So for those of you that were with us in 19, we went through the 6th floor.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you that were with us last year, thank you for supporting even during COVID. We greatly appreciate. I mean, it's because of you all that we put this on, right? So even though that show was it was small but mighty, as we said, and it was only 3 floors, and a lot of that was because the health department gave us an attendee cap, so we couldn't have so many people in the building or whatever, so we had to keep it to the 3rd floor. So the fact that we're already up to the 5th floor, and
super exciting. And early bird pricing ends tomorrow, I think.
Today.
Wait,
is today the 31st?
Today's the 31st.
Yeah, I'm looking at my calendar. Yep, it ends today.
So any exhibitors on the fence, can they still get in? What do they have to do?
Yeah, they can.
Do they do a deposit, or how do they get in to the early bird pricing?
If you want to, if you're an exhibitor or you're a manufacturer, designer, dealer, distributor, and you are interested in exhibiting with us, or if you are one of our darling exhibitors who say, we want to see how it goes before we commit. And yeah, I did the voice because that's what it sounds like in my head. And we love you all. Early bird pricing ends today, and we're already on the 5th floor going further up. So my encouragement to all of you is to please go ahead and jump on board.
So they have to
because
pay a little bit extra if they miss this deadline, but how far can they, what's the latest they can commit?
That's an internal discussion for not on
Yeah.
air.
So they
They know how
better
to
get
reach
their,
us. They know how to reach
it's
our
only
sales
10
team.
weeks away, all right? I think I
Yeah.
saw the countdown on the website.
There's a count. Yes, on the website. We had our webmaster put a countdown clock on there. It's true. Yes. And for those of you that were asking, yes, we will be releasing the guest room link for everybody. I think next week. Don't quote me on that because that's the hotel has to give it to us. And yes, the ticket link will be coming shortly as well. So just keep that in mind. No tickets are not available yet. Do not fret about that. And yes, you will start seeing exhibitors being posted on social media. And no, please don't anybody DM me and ask me for a full exhibitor list because y'all do it to me every year. And y'all know I never release that until the last minute. So don't even bother thinking it's going to be different this year because it's not. But any other questions that anybody has, always, you can always send us a DM. You can, Larry.
Yeah, thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry, for the nice, for the kind words.
I knew I liked Brian.
Larry's in the comments on YouTube. Thank you, Larry.
The tickets aren't available yet, so they will be. We're working with a sense of imminent urgency for those things. And I'm trying to think what else. Andre Darlington will be on the talk. We can discuss that for a few minutes. Andre Darlington, for those of you that don't know, is the author of Booze and Vinyl, which is this super great book. Yeah. And he's just coming out with Booze and Vinyl Volume 2, which I think is released in April. And he will be a special guest at the show. He will be there. He will be doing a book signing, but he's also going to be doing 2 very special mixology sessions with us on Friday and Saturday afternoon. I think it's like 4 to 5 or 5 to 6. I have to look at my schedule, but it's in the afternoon. Right. It'll be a happy hour thing, craft cocktails, listening to tunes, talking about music, talking about hi-fi. So y'all are going to want to be there for that as well. And of course, that is part of being having a ticket to the show. Oh, and the group. If you want to buy tickets to become a group member, because we have all these VIP events now that we really are opening up the world. The group membership is still on the pre-sale price. It is going up soon. So thegroup.life is the website, not .com, thegroup.life. Go there, check it out. There's a bunch of different tiered memberships that you can get. And there's some cool stuff happening there. And I'm sure you'll see stuff about the group on Acoustics as one of their original pieces of 80 pieces of content.
We may post something about it. So yeah, check that out. And then getting back to the Headphonium real quick, there's one topic that crosses over into headphones. And I'm not sure if it's going to be there this year or at a future show. And that's gaming and headphones with gaming.
Right. Are you asking about gaming gamer headphones, or are you just talking about gaming in general?
Gaming in general, or
Denver.
Gaming Denver will be the place.
The Denver show's going to have
Headphonium in Denver will be a extra focus on the gaming side of headphones with gaming as a
sort of
new
as a sub
exhibit,
theme.
as a sub theme there. Okay.
Yeah. So the Long Beach show, internally, I'll give you all our language. The Long Beach show is our classic, right? Classique. That's our 2-channel higher end, but hi-fi, high-end audio show. Denver's going to be really focused on, yes, there's going to be some 2-channel and hi-fi, high-end audio, but gaming, home theater, home entertainment, personal portable audio, and even house design, smart home integration design stuff is going to happen. Then the Nashville show is really going to be the music show. There's going to be some things coming up with recording studio. I'm not allowed to say whatever. I can't say that. And so each one of our shows is going to have a very different theme, because ultimately, we haven't confirmed this yet, but it's something we're working towards. We'd like to release at some point a season pass where you can buy a ticket to all 3 shows and it's discounted and you get some perks to it, so on and so forth. So that's just something to keep in mind, that will be, I mean, there's a lot of changes.
Exciting stuff. You just have to tune into these talks or you'll
Yeah,
miss out. You gotta.
that's true.
So thank you for all of our viewers out there. I appreciate you tuning in to watch this live or recorded, however you're watching
Yeah,
us
right.
or whenever you
The
watch us.
replay.
Thank you for
Right.
watching. Thank you for
Yes.
watching.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you, Emiko, for this opportunity. The Headphonium is going to be amazing. We're
Yeah.
grateful to be a part of it. And yeah, the show, Long Beach, the Headphonium, all happening in the same place,
Yep.
June 10th through 12th,
Right. At
2022.
the Hilton Long Beach. Maybe
Long
pizza,
Beach.
definitely food trucks. Lots of cocktails.
Right, right.
So, so I think that's short and sweet today, right,
Yep.
Brian? We're
Yeah,
pretty
thank you.
set
Thank you.
on everything. So
This is yeah, thank you for having me on this. I think it's the first talk of 2022.
this is the first talk of
Okay.
2022.
All
It
right.
is,
Thanks.
and you are the first. I I'm going to say you're a guest, even though
Today I'm a guest.
yeah,
Okay.
today you're a guest, even though you're really part of the team. So yes, you're a guest today. And
Okay.
thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you to you, to Ian, to the entire eCoustics team. You guys are family to us. And
Thanks.
thank you
Thank
for all
you.
the work that you do in our community and in our industry.
Thank you.
Eacoustics.com. Go
Thank
check
you.
them out, please, if you haven't
Thank you.
already. And if you have, sign up with a second email address. give them more pause to get bigger.
Yeah.
Their reach is huge. Your reach is ginormous. But
Thank you.
anyway, and stay tuned. Really, a lot of our updates are going to come out on social media, so make sure turn your notifications on, because we are a social media based show in the sense of our promotions and our advertising, what we do. So yes, check your emails, obviously, but social is the space to watch. So until next time, everybody, thank you so much for watching. And Brian, thank you. I'm sure
Thank you.
we'll be talking
Thank you.
soon.
I'll talk to you very soon. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.